What if? I got the intro.
All right.
Okay.
Reed, take us away with the intro.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Minecraft Let's Play, the Remembers Creative Wait, English.
Just creatives.
Hold up. Okay, because I was listening to myself and I was like, it was delayed. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Just Creatives podcast. And today we've got a very special guest here. Drexis Animations, please say something.
Hello. It's good to be here.
Good evening. It is a pleasure to have you on our show, and we wanted to say thank you for coming out here tonight.
We took him against as well.
Yeah, that too.
Thank you for having me.
This podcast
I mean, please let me go.
So first off, you're not allowed to leave.
Oh shit.
But let's begin with introductions. Drexis, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So basically, I'm Drexis. I am an animator. I primarily use like Blender and stuff, and I make games. Animations based on the video game Destiny 2, mostly. I've been animating for about 6 years now, all inside of Blender, and yeah, it started off as a hobby, and now I'm a little bit more professional now, doing freelancing and stuff. So
6 years, holy.
6 years?
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a long time.
It is.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Where did you first pick up on like Blender animation or 3D animation, I should say?
Yeah, so this is part of the part that I was dreading talking about the most, and this is my history with Minecraft animations.
Oh no. Oh no.
So yeah, this is where my origin story begins. I started with Minecraft animations, and it was so garbage. That's basically all there is to it. I feel so uncomfortable speaking of those days because
don't feel uncomfortable. I mean, just act like you're just talking to us. You don't have to
it's
be weird or talk to the viewers because we don't care about our viewers.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Dang.
Yes and no. If that makes sense.
Okay.
We care about you guys, but at the same time, no. I'm just kidding.
No. I'm just playing because the Minecraft animation days, I learned a lot. It was all cringy stuff, but none of it was high quality or anything. But I was just doing it for fun on like a trashy like little Mac laptop that couldn't really handle the actual rendering power of 3D software. So I was just I did Minecraft animations because it was simple, and I've always been like a Minecraft fan. So I grew up playing the game. So and that's how I like got into animations online. I learned about YouTube from that. I learned about that's how I entered into like social media and things, was through that. And I never got popular in doing that. I finally bought like a okay PC, and then started to do like Destiny animations based on knowledge that I got from a guy called Sammy Glitch, actually. And Sammy Glitch, shout out to him. He's like I think he's like the OG Destiny animations guy. Like he was the first one that I ever saw doing it. Like importing Destiny models into 3D software, animating them, and then making videos out of it. Like that was the first time that I ever saw that was on his YouTube channel. So I asked him about how he got it, and so that he told me that he found some website where you could generate like 3D printable versions and then customize it and rig it in Blender if you knew how to do like materials and custom textures and things. And that's how I got into Destiny. And that was probably early 2018 when that happened. And then yeah.
So you knew him like on a personal level, like he's the one that introduced you into all the cool Destiny animations that we see from you now.
Well, I didn't know him actually personally. I just saw his YouTube videos one time randomly, and I don't know. I was so like, it blew my mind basically. Because I had been wanting to get into something other than Minecraft, and nothing else was really that inspiring. And so as a kid, I was just like, you know, and at the time I was like 15, 16. So I just wanted to get into something Destiny related when I saw that those videos. And that's how I basically just like commented on his YouTube videos asking him how he gets the models. And he responded to me. And now I know him a little bit better. I've talked to him quite a few times, you know. It's always cool to see what he makes. Even to this day, he's still making Destiny animations. He does like anime style stuff now, which is really cool. I love his style of animation and things. And so, yeah, that's basically how I got into animation today. Like you're saying,
Yeah.
is it started with that really when I found out about the Destiny models and things like that I could do that, and that's, you know, when it began.
Let's go a little bit like all the way back to when you were a kid and like growing up. Did you have like this creative type of like personality when growing up? Like, were you into drawing at all, or filmmaking, or anything like that? Something that would kind of push you to do more of what you do now today.
I really liked building with Legos. I never drew anything. Like I'm terrible at drawing even now. Like I can't do it. I'm so bad. So yeah, I built with Legos. And that was like my creative outlet as like a little kid. And then when I started playing Minecraft, I would build on Minecraft. I had friends and I played Minecraft with them. We'd build stuff. I had my siblings. We used to play like Minecraft Xbox when I was like 12 years old, 13.
Mm-hmm. And
we'd build for hours and hours and hours in creative mode. We never played survival mode in those days. I don't know why, but that was it's not like a very constructive creative thing because it was just a video game, but
still though, I mean, it's Minecraft. Minecraft's all about creativity, especially if you prefer to play creative versus survival.
Yeah. And that's basically, I used to watch a lot of Minecraft YouTubers and how I started Blender was I wanted to make channel art for a Minecraft YouTube channel for me and my other friend, Brendan. And that was how I started it. I just learned that you can make like a little Minecraft art for your channel in Blender. And so I tried it out, and then that grew eventually into making Minecraft animations instead of Minecraft videos where like gameplay.
Yeah.
And then that eventually dead-ended when I started Destiny stuff because I basically dropped all Minecraft content after that. So, yeah.
I see. When you said that you're talking about like these animations for Minecraft YouTubers, are you talking about like I think his name's SS Undy or SS Sundy, like those type of videos, or like the 3D animation, or Sky Does Minecraft? Do you know what videos I'm talking about?
Yeah. I used to like to watch their content growing up, and I wanted to be like a YouTuber like them, and I just wanted to make channel art. So, and then eventually, I used to watch like their, I don't know, they're like animated highlights where they would animate the funny moments
like
their
commentary.
videos.
So
yeah.
like sections of their video that they turned into an animation.
Yeah. Yep. And that and the actual Minecraft animations that used to be like little short stories based on the game by people like Slamicow, like yeah. Those kinds of videos were like my prime inspiration. And then everything that I ended up making was completely stupid and cringy compared to all of that. But
We all have our start. I do want to know how you and Reed met, and did you guys actually ever end up meeting, or because I heard there was a trip that you were supposed to go out and meet Drexis. You were supposed to meet Reed, or
oh
what happened
man,
there?
Do you want to take it?
no, well, you can actually say it, Reed.
Okay. So I had seen. So I was in May. I started working on Blender, like Destiny stuff, and I used like the 3D printed model stuff at first, and I didn't like texture it. I just gave it like a metallic thing, and it looked cool. And then I ended up seeing Drexis's gigs montage, like the 3D for that, and I was like, holy shit, I'm not the only person that's trying to do Destiny 3D. Because at that point I didn't like watch YouTube videos or anything. I just randomly came across gigs montage. So I ended up shooting him a message and was like, hey, hello person, your stuff's dope.
Hey, I've been stalking your Twitter. Can you teach me some stuff?
Yeah, so I definitely was like, holy shit, let's go. Somebody who, is doing what I want to do, and he seems genuine. And I think it was 1 year ago.
Pretty much, yeah.
That I shot him a message that says, hey, do you have Discord? And then after that, I added him and we started talking. So hold up, I could probably pull it. I think it was legitimately 1 year ago. December 21st, 2019.
Damn,
Oh, man.
that is literally
That was
just
1
over
year
a year
ago. That was 1 year ago. 1 year and 1 week ago.
Then
Reed's like 3D besties for life.
Basically,
Dude, I mean, we spend almost every night either working, playing, or teaching each other until 2 a.m. And we have been for the past few months. So it's enjoyable to be able to bounce ideas off of creative people. And to have somebody that has 6 years experience in this particular field is that's amazing to me. Because I always enjoy hanging out with people that are better than me so that I can learn from them.
yeah.
And then, about the trip. Tip number 1, if you are watching this, do not get Dairy Queen in the middle of nowhere. You will definitely get food poisoning and end up spending, almost a night in an ER and then have to get flown home the next day because you're just shaking with so much pain. Don't do that.
I kind of want to know more about this story because I remember I met Term a week before you were going to go meet Drexis, but I can't remember exactly where Drexis was at. Like, how close did you guys get to before, like, getting that close to meeting?
Well, my original goal was to meet him on the way back from my trip, which was going to be a week long, and then that like Saturday I would get around his house, and then we'd go out and eat Whataburger, which is an amazing place down in the south. And if you haven't been there before, you're missing out, and you need to move to the south. So, we cut the trip short a few days because we drive for 3 days straight. Okay. On the final day, that afternoon, I had a shit cheeseburger from Dairy Queen, and I knew that the cheeseburger was bad because I ate it and went, this is kind of weird, but I'm hungry and I need to eat anyways. So I kept going. Bad idea.
It got worse after every bite.
It got worse. So I then drive for 11 hours straight. And since I'm not thinking about my body, I'm thinking about the road, I'm thinking about traffic, all these, different variables. The second I stop thinking about driving, I step outside of the car. Oh, Oh.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm shaking. I'm freezing, but it's hot in Arizona, so I know it's just me, and I'm not well. And I was like, okay, I need to lay down. I can't eat. I can't do anything. And eventually the stomach issues came, and my parents, my dad who was with me, didn't think that it was food poisoning because they also ate Dairy Queen, but they had a different meal or whatever.
Mhm.
So they were like, no, it's not food poisoning. Have some Imodium to hopefully this issue will pass, right? So, stomach issues. In fact, it backed it up. So on top of having really, really bad food poisoning, I was also keeping it all inside. So it was just kind of building up. And then it got to the point where I woke up at 1 a.m. in the desert. I ran out and took off into the desert with toilet paper.
Just random.
And I stayed up that entire night. Cool thing, I watched the moon rise behind the mountains. And then I watched the sun follow it closely behind, and I was like, oh my God, I slept. And I was in pain, and I didn't know what to do. And nobody was up because they were all in their campers or whatever. So I was just sitting there in my car. And then eventually, that morning, like when people did start to wake up, we went to shovel it, and I was like, there's blood in there. I'm going to the hospital. We got to go to the hospital. So, yeah, I stayed like half the day in the ER and just kind of sitting there like, oh, I was shaking. My whole body hurt. I couldn't, like my finger, so I have essential tremors, so it makes me shake normally, but my whole body was shivering with pain, and it sucked. And then, the next morning, my parents were like, okay, we're going to fly you home because you will not be able to make it 3 days driving. Like, you won't be able to ride in the car for 3 days. Hi, Mom. No, I'm doing a podcast. You want to say hi to my boy Akuma?
Is that Mama Reed?
Yeah, that sounded weird.
Mama Reed?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awkward.
Hello.
My bad.
It's okay. Do you want to say hi? It's fine. I don't have like a live sign
Oh,
or
okay.
anything. We can
She
just
can't see me, but I'm waving.
Drexis said that he can't see, but
Yeah.
he's waving. So night. So yeah, that I got flown home, and my girlfriend and her mom offered to pick me up, which was sweet because they fed me dinner.
Actual good food. That's cool.
Yeah, I couldn't eat it though. I literally had like a fourth of it, put it in the fridge, got hungry later, ate the other half of it. So then I had, half left and just kept trying to munch. But fettuccine Alfredo doesn't keep. I'm also lactose intolerant. So,
Damn, you really got messed up on this trip, didn't you?
dude, yeah. And then it was only like, what the hell is today? Tuesday?
Monday.
I still have like occasional, oh, I need to go, and I'll just take off. It hasn't fully cleared my system.
And
that
how
was,
long
like,
ago?
3
This
weeks
trip
ago.
was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Man.
So, like, I'll
I
wake
remember
up
you
in the
texted me
morning.
like, dude, it ain't gonna happen. I'm flying
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. But I was so excited because I was like, bro, I've met a few people in the Destiny community already. This will be super cool to meet the other, 3D animator that's well known. So this will be super cool.
And Drexis, how did you take this news when you actually found out what was happening?
Bro,
He was crying.
I
He
don't
went in the corner.
I didn't remember what time it was at night when you were like, I think I got like bad food poisoning from Dairy Queen or something. You were telling me, man, it was terrible news, dude. I was yeah. I don't know what to think because I was just like shocked about it because it was like the middle of the night or something, or maybe
Yeah.
it might have been, I don't remember, but all I remember is that I was barely awake when I got the message. And so I was like, what, dude? You good? And I wanted to call you, but I was like, dude, he's probably like destroyed right now. He's probably
Oh my god.
he just probably doesn't want to call somebody. But it was crazy. And then you were telling us that you were at like at the ER, and
I lived,
remember-
bitches.
Yeah.
Posted a photo of me like this.
I remember that photo.
That
so
was
yeah,
not
we have like a little group chat. It's like me, you, and a couple other people that are like more meme side of 3D, and we were
Like, I know who you're talking about.
and so we were trying to check up on him every now and then, make sure he's good. But it was a crazy situation. It just sucks that we couldn't meet up because
Yeah.
Do you guys have plans to now meet up? Like, now that this kind of fell through, do you guys have plans to meet up sometime at like Destiny Con, if that's going to be a thing next year? Or
If GDC is a thing, I'm down 100%.
I'm down.
Because if it's in Orlando, I have friends down there.
Hmm.
So I might just be like, hey, I'm going to leech your house for a day or two.
Make it work, boys. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember meeting Term, which wasn't too long ago. Like I said, if this was 2 or 3 weeks ago, meeting Term was like so surreal because he acts and does the same exact stuff that he does when we're just chilling in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it feels weird because it's like very first time we met, it didn't even feel like that it was the first time we met. We're just hanging out for the night, which is really, really weird because we've been planning this forever now. And then when we finally met, we're just like, oh, and then we hugged each other and like, okay, I want to go inside and eat. Like as if it was like just like a Saturday night at, oh shit, I
Your
turned
camera
dark.
committed seppuku.
Oh, I'm blue, man.
He's
Okay,
blue.
there we
He's
go.
blue. There you go.
But yeah, it was really weird because we didn't just like we didn't get like all the normalities. I mean, it was a little awkward at first, but like it felt like it was like it felt like he's just been there forever, you know. I'm curious to see if you guys have like the same reaction. Arsious, have you ever met anyone from like the gaming community or anything like that?
No, I got close to meeting my friend Omar, who's in IM, but it was like a gateway flight, so he was only there for like 30 minutes and then he was gone. But I think I got close to meeting Conrady as well.
Really?
And it was way before Phase 5 and everything like that. But I hope one day I can. But I kind of want to go to GC and meet you guys or other people that I've known for a while already, which would be dope as fuck.
Eventually, I do want to do one IRL podcast. I think that'd be really fun.
That would be sweet.
We all like meet up at Guardian Con or E3.
Me and Reed got the M16s in the background like this, like hanging
Dude,
out.
it's gonna become a tradition. Every podcast, you're just casually holding some machine
Some kind
gun,
of firearm.
some kind of firearm. Oh, man. Going back to obviously our guest who has graced us. Let me clear my throat
Beautiful.
real quick.
That was beautiful. Do you need some water?
Yes,
This
give me
is
some
sweet
water.
tea.
You know what, man?
Hold
Let
on,
me
hold on.
let me take it over. Let me ask a question.
I'll suck you dry. It's a vacuum cleaner. Bro, what is my camera on? Look at it.
What
You
is
see
that?
this?
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know.
Dude, it looks like a chroma key effect.
It does.
It looks like when you set something in Blender to the transparency to the wrong one and it
Oh,
shows the
God.
back face. You know what I'm saying? What
Oh,
in the
no.
hell?
It's the wrong blending option on Photoshop.
Look at us.
Yeah,
talking
exactly,
about
exactly.
Creative tools.
Look at this shit. I think I'm in the mood for an upgrade.
What I was.
Logitech C920, perhaps?
Yes. I heard those are good. But
We have one at work, but I want a ticket.
what I was saying before I had a little girl moment there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, grace us with your presence. I wanted to talk to you more about like your creative career now, stuff that you've done, stuff that you've been a part of, and anything that you kind of have like anything that you're in right now, anything that you want to share or
Flex.
yeah,
Flex,
flex,
Mr.
flex.
Flex? Oh,
Yeah, this is flex time now.
flex time. Oh god.
So if you want to, like, you don't have to disclose like your, personal information like your social security number, but if you wanted to, you could. So if you want to talk about like any kind of upcoming projects that you have, anything that you're working towards,
I wouldn't say future, just the stuff that you've done before in the past, like projects that you've been a part of or stuff like that, and then we can get stuff that you have planned later on.
that also works.
We're trying to go.
Okay.
We're trying to read the page left to right. Read.
I read it like a hentai and go backwards.
Drexis, take
God.
it away. Take it away, Drexis. Get us out of this conversation. We gotta get off of this
Okay.
topic.
It's all the exo cat girls, man. It's ruining my brain. It's got me fried.
Dude. Oh man.
The crocs
Okay.
stay on during sex.
So, I mean, I've been incredibly, dude, I'm so lucky to have been able to like work on some stuff that I've been able to work on. I just every time I look at stuff that I've already made and been part of, I'm always like, wow, because I've got to work with people like G1 or Gamers First.
Yeah.
And their org, I've like done a montage with them, and I've collabed with them on like their sponsorship deal, like ads, and been able to just talk to the team. It's been crazy, seeing such really good like creators and players, and been able to like collaborate with them has been nuts. So there's that, and then there's My Name is Bife as well, which is one of my favorite projects because I like lore and I really like Bife's deep voice.
He
Hello.
do be having a sexy voice though.
I just want him to pass over the genes a little bit. He needs to share those with the
He's like-
deep voice genes.
He's like, it's not corpse deep, but it's still like soothing.
It's sexual for very good reason.
Oh, that's the reason why I call
So-
him Lore Daddy.
Yeah. He actually hates that name, by the way.
Really?
Like, yeah, he said that he like absolutely hates it, but he had to embrace the meme because everybody calls him that.
That's
Even
true.
his
Yeah, there is
his,
no way out.
his own girlfriend calls him that.
I can imagine.
Dude, you can only
They're
imagine.
doing it, and then you just hear, "Lord Daddy, what? What? Get off me!"
If he hates, I only imagine like how big of a turn up that is. Oh crap!
Oh my
computer
God,
just crashed. No, we're good.
It's hilarious though, man. He's such a cool person. I love him, dude. He's amazing. But yeah, being able to like work on stuff with Bife was like crazy because I've always been watching his videos especially since D1. I started listening to all his lore stuff when like the Books of Sorrow came out and Taken King.
Yeah.
And that's when I like found out about his channel. And so I've been listening for a long time, and it's always cool to see like his videos come out and I listen to them. And so when earlier this year, in about May, after I came out with a video called Collapse, which was just a cinematic project for my own channel.
I remember.
I think I've seen that.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it wasn't anything too crazy. I made it in like a week. It was mostly image planes, and Reed knows about that.
Dude, okay, hold up. We gotta touch on this as quick as possible. So typically, right, if you have a
God.
3D asset, right, if you don't move it around, you can replace the shit with a photo of it, so that you don't have to calculate the shadows and all this good juicy details that come from the stuff that's hidden, because all you're doing is using it kind of like an image. So imagine these sunglasses on this. So what you're getting is the same high quality for a fraction of the performance, or
Yeah, basically.
So you use these shortcuts as a way of speeding up your scene, your workflow. Everything renders quicker. You're able to adjust stuff more on the fly. And after watching Collapse a few times, I started to look and go, those shadows aren't real.
Yeah.
There is, if you watch it close enough, if you want to put the video up on the screen and then zoom in, like enhance type beat. If you look at the little like satellite thing,
The space station, yeah.
it's an image plane.
The entire
I'm
the
not,
entire space station is just a picture. It's not actually real.
Read
So when I
something.
watched it,
I don't.
I looked and went, it looks like it's just like a normal map that's just being moved around, but I'm not an expert yet. Like I'm still not, but I could see that something wasn't correct. And then when he showed us the project file in a call, I lost my shit a little bit. Because everything in the damn thing, except for the character, I think.
Yeah, the character model is
The character
real, but
was real. Everything else was an image.
Damn, I can only imagine like the highlight video that I'm gonna make out of this, and it's gonna be Reed exposes Drexis Animations.
Dude, this bullshit that he does, it's magic. Oh my god, I gotta show you how magical this is. It doesn't.
I think
It's
I put this
unbelievable.
on Twitter a while ago.
You did. You made a post about it, and
I did, yeah.
Everybody lost their mind.
It's like that video where it's like, there is no fridge. I lied.
Oh, I
The
remember
fridge-
that. Yeah.
That is essentially the exact same situation here.
Yep. So I'm currently opening this product, but okay. So let's take a look at this video really, really quickly. So what you can see is Stranger's Rifle particles. Haha, particles go brrr and take forever to render. In fact, it's just an image plane. I used Imbergen and managed to create some kind of sprite particle effect, and it's all image planes. Every single one of these is just single 4 verts. It takes literally no time at all to render. But it looks 3-dimensional. And Drexis, with his 6 years experience of using Blender, put in some shader magic and made it so that whenever the camera, like whenever you see an edge or whatever, it disappears. So that it's not this huge noticeable thing.
Yeah,
Like-
so it doesn't look flat and it doesn't look like it's a bunch of things stacked on itself.
Are you talking
It's
about,
just like a little view-based, like, transparency thing.
Are you talking about like the edge of the picture? Is that what you mean by edge, or?
Yeah.
Like,
So
if
when
you start to view the flat image at an angle, it starts to disappear so that you're always looking at the ones that are straight facing you. And it's a thing that games use to fake dust and space dust, like I did in the Collapse video.
Mhm.
Basically, all of the space dust around the planet is images that will fade out if you start to view them at like a glancing angle, because they are just flat.
Huh.
But so it's like a little sciencey thing, but it's just, it's all fake. It's all a fraud. It's not
all-
real.
Also, if you're watching this, you see the background? That was not done in After Effects, which I could have done, but it was in fact image planes. All of the stuff you see in the background is a rotating image. Allow me to demonstrate. What? Move the hell over there.
Oh yeah, you got
Sh-
the whole project file. I forgot about this.
I had it opened. Here's the background. So let me actually get to a frame where everything's, appearing or whatnot. Yeah, this one's safe. See? It's all an image plane. So if I turn on wireframe, you can see very barely. Everything is an image.
That is crazy, dude. Because in my mind, that would took years to do. Like it would take so long, like a whole team to do something like that.
So
We-
I just
We
did
made this in
motion
an hour on call.
Yep, we did this in a few hours, start to finish. I've been using my motion capture stuff and working my ass off trying to get it to work as cohesively as possible so that everything just flows the way it should. And we managed to make something hella clean with it. So I got the motion capture data added. I got the basic idea for the visual effects, and then Drexis came in with a standing ovation. Like, he made this detail on this thing, like, just see how it flows? The flow is key. He redid, so originally I had like a dog shit shader for the like Nova Ball thing. It was literally just like stupid. He made it look like a black hole, which makes it look so much sicker. And earlier, this like cloud thing that goes around it, so it's got like type effect. But all I did was take it into After Effects, give it a lens flare, track it, and then do some CC, make it pop.
That is so crazy. This is like another one of those reasons why I like creating this podcast. I get to learn so much of the stuff that I don't even know, like what goes on behind the scenes.
I never thought it was a still picture, to be honest. I thought that was all 3D, you know?
Dude.
Like the especially that the particles from the stranger's rifle. Even that I had no idea.
Yeah, and so
Bunch of tomfoolery.
yeah, it's something that I learned a while ago because I used to try to create everything legit, but yeah, oh yeah, this is the edge fading in action right here. So basically, it's
okay.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was talking about earlier.
So okay, white is so it's like a mask. White you see, black you don't.
Okay. That is so weird. And it's cool to see the like the middle one go transparent when you go into different angles until it shows more in the light, I guess you could say, and then it just goes back to being solid again.
Pretty sick.
That is so crazy. And all this stuff is like you have to use math to do all this stuff, right? Or is this really simple to configure?
That's like the whole setup right there. Just those
these two right here are the ones doing the controlling of the mix between transparent or not. This is just adding them and putting them together. Now, if you wanted to do like custom shaders and water simulations and that kind of shit, it's a little bit more technical because you do have to know like the viscosity of whatever fluid you're trying to replicate and how many milliliters it pushes on average and do all this math. But
it's like trying to find
it's all worth it. It's worth it in the end.
Simulation. Actually, I have a question for the both of you guys. It was so around like 2018, 2017 was the time when like 3D really started popping off for Destiny. What was your guys' like reaction towards that? Were you guys already in 3D and you were like, oh shit, my time, you know? Or was it like more of like, it's cool to see what people are doing now? If you understand what I'm trying to say, maybe I could clarify, but I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, early 2018 is when it started to pop off a little bit more. At least that's when I was getting into it, like starting to get into it. And I found out about like a Discord server where they have like all the models there. And so that was for me when it really hit it off. And then, you know, like Sammy Glitch was the first guy that I saw doing it, and I still think he's the first person that I've seen that did it really as like a continuous thing on YouTube for his channel. And I thought that that was the coolest thing ever and that I wanted to do that. So I basically that's how I got into it. And then after I really think that it went huge around the time that the gigs montage came out that I did with gigs. Like the Discord server blew up shortly before that, I think. People started really joining and learning how to use the models and sharing those around and everything. So I think that just before that time when the montage came out, and I think it might have promoted the thing even more a little bit, because I got asked by a bunch of people in my DMs, how do you get those models or whatever? And I just sent them to the Discord where I got them, because it's like a great resource for the people that wanted to get into it. And it still is to this day. I think I still send people there. It's great. Because I'm not like a great teacher or anything, so I just
Man, I was gonna ask you to teach me.
But yeah, there's tons of people that recently got into it, at least this year, this year and year prior, getting into the 3D models in Destiny related stuff, animations. It's really inspiring to see so many people get into it, because I'm not alone anymore, because at the time when I was working on the gigs montage, when gigs found me, I had 100 followers on Twitter, and all of them were Minecraft people from when I did that. And so I was mind blown when, verified guy on Twitter is like, hey, I want to do like a montage, and you're like really good at 3D stuff, and I want to see if you can collab with me on that, And that was just like insane for me, because I don't know, I didn't think that I was doing well enough to get into that kind of thing. So it's crazy what you can do with even as little knowledge as I had when I got into it. Like, I don't know, if I can do it, anybody can do it, is what I'm saying. It's like, I am not the best at everything. I just happen to have been doing it long enough to where I pick up on very small things, over time, and it eventually compounds. But whereas Reed, he's learned way more than I did in my first 4 to 5 years in only a few months.
Mm-hmm.
I just found my first thing. This is
So
June 2nd of 2019 when I think I still use the STLs. But this is an STL Thorn. And here's the animation. That was it. That literally just...
That thorn looks so blocky.
But man, I was really proud of it too, because I used cycles. Oh my god, this whole animation thing is shit. I gotta dislike it. But like, yeah, that was in 2019, and then it's weird. But after that, I got addicted. I don't think I've, this year especially, other than when I'm sick, I don't think I spend one day away from Blender without learning one thing.
You were telling about this a little bit in the last podcast too. Like, you haven't stopped using Blender since I can't remember, because I didn't even watch your own podcast, even though I spent
like
5 hours editing.
like March. Because the second that quarantine started and I wasn't in school, like when the teachers weren't saying, sit your ass down, learn this shit. The second that happened, I was like, I'm free. I can learn. And then, I started working and doing... It was a combination of using a free motion capture website called Mixamo, which is still really good. And if you use it, you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. So I started doing that, and then using my own animations for characters. So it'd be like half and half mix kind of thing. And started doing a lot of commissions. Ended up on the furry side, made some money, and
what is this?
Then
let's
then
dive
when
into
it,
this a little bit.
when it came to like around my birthday, my parents were like, "Hey, look, we don't know what to do. Like, do you want, like, we could do a down payment on it so that you can get the suit and then you just pay us off?" And I was like, yeah. Yeah. So I got the suit little after my birthday, and then July 14th is the first time that I ever got the suit up and running and put it onto a Destiny character. And I've taught myself everything motion capture at this point, because back then there wasn't anything on YouTube for Blender motion capture. It was limited to you have a T pose and then that's
Yeah,
it.
because that suit like had just come out at the time. Like it was brand new.
So it was
yeah.
I had to pave the way for Destiny 3D motion capture. And there's another kid in the Destiny Model Rip server who I actually convinced to get the suit, and I taught him, and now he knows what to do. Goes by the username Mad Heart Paragon on Twitter. But yeah, after I got this was my I think this is my second time retargeting it, because the first time was a really horrible floss. And I think I sent it to Drexis and them because I was like, does anybody know how to do what I don't think is possible? Do you remember that, Drexis? It was an old streamable.
I remember seeing that. What is that animation you have on screen right now?
This is the one I posted and said .g1 official, my DMs are open as a joke.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I remember you had just got it, and then you were like, "What should I do as an animation?" And I told you to do Zavala dabbing on Cade's grave.
That was the second one that we ended up doing. So if we pull up into here, literally July 14th. So that night, I actually was live streaming because I thought it was so cool. So these all are motion captured. So that night that I got the suit up and running and I was still like really excited to use it or whatever, I had streamed and Drexis suggested making this quick little animation, and I figured out how to retarget a little bit better. I figured out how to clean up just a little bit, and I
remember this.
Just did that. It was bullshit. It was stupid, funny, and it made zero sense. But I think Drexis interacted with it on Twitter afterwards, and that was my first video that I was like, holy shit, 3,000 people have seen me being an absolute idiot dabbing. That's cool. That's cool. I like where this is going. And then, let's see, I did this overnight. This only took a few hours, but I put on the suit, and I was starting to learn how to do like weapons in my hands, but like the suit's not fully accurate, so my hand would be like up here when the gun's down here. So I was figuring it out on how to make it work cohesively, and I didn't animate the fingers closing on the gun at all. I was too lazy, and I was getting a little bit better at retargeting and doing that kind of thing. But obviously my character's jittery, my camera moves are shit, my storytelling is garbage, and my hand's not actually touching the gun. So I was starting to figure it out. And then I eventually hit up a guy on Twitter called Solar Flare, and I messaged him and was like, hey, look, I got a stupid idea. If you're gonna see this, I don't know, maybe we could work together on something.
He was the one that did the meme, the one, the Tokyo Drift with the drifter, like ding, 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 ding.
Yes, that is him. So I jokingly shot him a message in hopes that maybe he saw me, because at that point, like, I was still like scared shitless to talk to people who had a following, because I was afraid I was gonna get egoed, and I'd just be like, oh, all right, that's whatever. But Solar was incredibly nice to me back in the day, and then like he really helped me out with memes and shit. So this was back when the King Bach memes came out, so that was a fun video. But
You said King Bach.
Back.
King Batch?
Batch, whatever the hell his name is, man, I don't know. And then this is my first like proper commission with it, but yeah, the remember intro that wasn't good. I don't know why I made them pay, but whatever.
Hey man, you spent time on it. That's worth money.
I did image plane technique for the sand going over.
Yeah. I remember
that was
you were
very
like,
cool.
You're like, yo.
I was proud of that.
telling you you could do that with the sand. I think
Yeah.
I used something similar on the gigs montage. I don't think it was exactly the same, but
And then I
like
worked
the opening
on
intro with the sand.
yes.
Yeah.
Worked on displacement for when he goes through, which is going to be crucial for the short film because it's snow, and I'm excited as hell to use that.
I've seen this video hours on end because when I was making the Team Remember poster, I took reference from this hunter.
Yeah, the hunter. I don't know. And then I ended up getting facial capture hooked up. This one I had to code because there was no option at the time to have facial capture that wasn't over $3,000. So it was super janky, and I made him walk around the corner and say whether we wanted it or not. We stepped into a war with the Cabal on Mars. But it didn't work. So, like, it sort of did, but nothing happened. It didn't look good. So,
Going back to Drexis a bit, what kind of stuff are you working on now? Do you have any big things planned that are coming out soon, or anything at all that you're working on that you're really excited about?
Yeah, right now I mean, obviously we've got the endless collabs and memes with Reed and
Solar
and the boys, you know. The meme team we're trying to come up with a name for ourselves. We probably have to call and actually come up with a name because we collab so much that
we need one.
We need one. But I mean, there's that, and then there's, you know, a solo project that I'm working on, and a lot of people have figured it out by now, but it's basically a remake of the intro to Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie, but with Kate replacing Star-Lord, and the scenery is like different. I replaced like the whole planet of Morag with Nessus. So yeah, I've released a couple previews. It's still like in progress. I animate on it quite a bit. I'm still like working on making the scenes and animating the character and stuff, because so far I haven't really used any mocap. I got to get some walking animations going for the intro. It's like, because it's like a minute and a half of him walking and animating. That's going to be a pain. So, you know, just general process. It's, you know, make the scene, animate the character, render it out, work on lighting, you know, re-render it out in 2K, make sure it's high quality and consistent. And that's like the process of making my personal projects, because I don't have a deadline with it, so I can spend as much time optimizing everything as I want. So currently there's no like release date or anything on it either, because it's obviously just kind of a work in progress. And then as far as other projects go, I don't really have anything directly in my pipeline other than just standard like render commissions and things that I do on the side. And then I can't wait, because 2021 is, I've been in talks with, you know, about projects with people like Bife. We want to do more stuff together. And bring on more people. You know, I told Bife about Reed. I was like, dude, this guy's got a mocap suit, and he's getting really good at 3D. We got to have him on if we're going to do like another collab or something. Because then we could do it even bigger. Like, imagine if like a bunch of 3D dudes got in and we made like another cinematic video. It was like huge this time.
Like
it would be crazy.
Or groups of people you could animate.
Oh, dude. I can't imagine the lag
we could do a crowd
in the scene, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm excited because I'm excited because 2021. I hope we can go even bigger. You know, the 3D scene only gets amplified, I guess, with the more projects that come out, and the easier it is to access, and the more documented and more projects are out there, it's better. I love to see stuff like that come out, and I love to work on stuff like that. So So yeah, and then obviously, hopefully, gonna be working on some big things with G1 this year. I mean, right now we are a little bit slow with the holiday season, but that is soon to be kicking in swing, and I've been talking to management about projects and things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say, but
Of course.
you know, of course. But
Nah,
yeah.
Kenny, he told us after the podcast, man. He told us what you guys are doing. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
One other thing I kind of want to bring up is obviously being a creative type, but more in 3D modeling, 3D animation. I believe that crowd is significantly smaller than what I do, which is illustration, or what Arsious does, which is graphic design, or what Term does, which is editing. What do you recommend people to do to get more into 3D world so there can be more 3D creators like you and Reed, so you guys have a bigger community like we do? Because I feel like we have something a lot bigger because it's a lot more accessible and easier to do. And I think people are just worried and not overwhelmed, but almost kind of scared. They think it's going to be too hard. And like, what would you guys recommend would be the easiest way to get into what you guys do?
Yeah, so I think part of it is like it's almost like a little self, I don't know, affecting kind of little paradox kind of situation, because there's not as many people in the scene doing stuff. People think that it's harder, or like it's way, more difficult to get into it, and that kind of thing. But it's actually not. But I mean, Reed got into it, and he's really good. Like, after only a few months of like learning every day, just getting in and doing projects for fun and doing projects for work and doing things like that. He's evidence you can get in and become professional and do this as like your career in very small amounts of time. Like, illustration is more well documented as like if you have like the practice, or the time to practice and get better, you can illustrate. And I don't think there's such thing as quote unquote talent when it comes to 3D, because I think it's more of like a skill where it's learned. You have to have a passion for it and dedicate a lot of time to it to get good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just being inherently good, because 3D software is completely foreign to anybody that hasn't touched it before. So it's definitely a skill building thing. And then as you learn it, things just improve rapidly. It gets and you get good at it, and it's good to think of it in that mindset, I guess.
Small
yeah.
building blocks.
It's like,
yeah, it's definitely a misconception that it's harder than any of those other things like illustration or graphic design. It's definitely just as easy, especially stuff like Blender. Blender has so many free tutorials on YouTube where you don't even have to pay a dime, and you can learn anything. And I've only bought like one course ever in my Blender career, and it was space VFX, like learn how to do space stuff, because I wanted to learn specifically that one thing after I had already been using Blender for a couple years. And I thought that was worth the money for me, but that was only like $60. So in my 6 years, I've only spent $60 learning how to use the program, and the rest is completely free stuff. So
Yeah.
it's you can go places without paying anything or being remotely talented. Because I was just a kid that was playing Minecraft and wanted to make a little YouTube channel, and then now I'm doing collaboration projects on lore cinematic videos with My Name is Spife, and I'm not like talented as like an artist. I think that talent is kind of an illusion in this kind of 3D world. I think it's more skill and practice, I think,
It's
really defines how you get into it. It's
yeah,
just
it's time and dedication.
It's like
Yep.
the literal definition is practice makes perfect.
yeah,
Literally.
and it's definitely not boring either. It is super fun.
There's
Like, I
not a
talk
dull
about-
moment.
Dude, it's crazy. I love sitting in here and making memes, and then also flipping that around and doing something like super serious and, you know, badass animation where this character is doing, you know, a cool move and like this energy effect is coming out of like his sword or whatever. That's
Telling a
like all
story.
part of it. It's all one thing, like one entity. There's something new to do every day, and it's always a blast, I think.
What about
So yeah.
what about you, Rhea? Do you recommend anyone, like anything at all, to start getting into 3D animation?
YouTube. I haven't personally, like, I haven't spent anything other than like small add-ons and asset packs, but that's not learning. I haven't properly watched a tutorial.
He skipped the donut, dude.
I do recommend people watch it, but I've never seen it personally.
He skipped the
So-
Blender donut.
Oh no.
Cheated.
The Blender donut is the, like, if you're learning Blender, you have to do the donut. I didn't do the donut. Because
It's
He
fine.
said,
You don't have to do it, but it's a joke.
So-
We like it's like a little rite of passage meme.
I learned the way I learn best is by playing around, and that might not be like the most optimal way to do it, but me fidgeting around with the software, that's beautiful.
It just
Um,
popped up on my timeline.
Is that 1800 XO?
Yeah, you made
So-
the donut.
Whenever like I get a new thing, a new toy to play with, I don't learn it. I teach myself it, because ultimately, like, I'll be working on a project and be like, oh, I don't know what to search. Ooh, haha, I can't find it on Google, right? But if I'm playing around with it and accidentally stumble upon it earlier in the few months ago, then if I stumble upon it earlier a few months ago, then I'll be like, oh, wait a second. I remember that function, that feature. I know how to get to it. So that's how I was able to do the motion capture so quickly, and why I was able to figure out how to make it work as well as it does now. And like, I learned a lot of animation stuff just off watching movies, but I
Yeah.
never like watched tutorials on YouTube or sign up for a course. I definitely think I should, but I don't enjoy spending money
Yeah.
other than like tech, like the $2,500 smart suit I have behind me, and these gloves that are $1,000.
I was just
Uh-huh.
about to say that. Like, what about your suit?
I
But
was-
these are so cool. These are so cool.
It's like I've spent
No.
zero money on my 3D animation career, and he sits in front of a $3,000 motion capture suit.
Yeah, and if you
And
include,
gloves he almost lost.
oh my
Oh, that's
god, that
true.
sucked. That sucked. I'm glad I found them though, and I got my exercise in for the day, so I got to walk around the block, check people's houses, make sure. But yeah, for dude, it was weird. Yeah, for people who are just starting out in Blender, I definitely watch, like, maybe doesn't Ian? There's a guy named Ian Hubert on YouTube. I'm actually friends with him.
That guy's amazing.
I'm actually friends with him because I talked to him about the suit, and then we eventually just started. We got a conversation going on Twitter. But he does like really quick 1 minute long tutorials or whatever. Have I watched them? No. Do I intend on watching them? Yeah. But if you watch like really quick tutorials, if you don't have a large attention span or whatever, watch quick tuts and then learn from there. And if you do have a longer attention span, then watch the donut tutorial. And I'm sure you'll learn the basics so you can get up and running. But it's really just playing around in my experience.
Jeez. Well, I wish we had I wish we had time for more, but I do believe it is time to end the podcast. Reed, would you like to end the podcast?
Sing us off. Sing us off.
Let's hear you sing us off.
Oh man, I haven't heard this before. This is gonna be an experience.
The first timer for all of us.
Thank you to everybody who showed up and hung around for the Just Creatives podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode with our guest, very special guest, Drexis Animations. Be sure to follow him on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We have all of the notes down in the description below, so you can go ahead and check those out. We also have all of our members down there as well. Our next podcast that we have set up is having an extremely special guest that I'm excited to announce. But we will be posting that on Twitter. If you don't follow us on Twitter already, it is twitter.com/JustCreativesPD. Follow it. You're missing out.
Beautiful.
That was perfect.
Beautiful.
That was perfect.
Beautiful.
I have no idea.
That was so awesome, dude.
That's what I sound.
I like how this is our first impression of talking to you. Casually talking to Reed while he handles his M16 and brandishes every single firearm in his room.
Dude, watching Rick like this is like watching a silent movie, dude.
Are you recording this part?
I am.
Oh, God.
Reed.
You ever notice how Reed looks like Astro Boy?
No, dude, he looks like Princess Leia, but without the big buns on the side of his head. And my giant ass red screensaver.
Glizzy.
Okay, that's enough, Reed. You can go back to being mute again.
That's enough out of you, punk.